Yes. Yeah, and you could even, I mean, you could put things that are your opinions and then give it correct answers too if you if that's what you are into. Is
That's
mint ice
perfect.
cream good?
Yeah, yeah. That sounds good. I think we can move on to the same question. Chat, I'm seeing that you're seeing a freeze frame. Can you please let me know if that's been resolved? But I love what a great vibes you guys are having with your VVs here. And Projo AR filters. What a great idea. Will Microjams have other guest microjammers like other creators in the future? That's such a fantastic idea, and I would love to have other creators. Let's see. I'll move on to my first question. Oh, we have an announcement before. So we have a new challenge. It's called the All the World's a Stage Effects Challenge, and it's where you can bring your imagination, run wild, and create an effect for the All the World's a Stage. So we're looking for effects that are creating imaginary worlds and settings or interactive creative story scenes and characters. And if you win, if you're the challenge champion, you get 3,000 USD dollars. And for four other excellent works, $1,500 each. And for top creativity awards, which is 10 people, you get $100 each. And you have until June 4th to apply. And if you are interested, I'll leave the link in the comments right now so you can check it out and get those big bucks. Moving on, we received a question. August, do you know about the kind of effects where you have to press in order, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 until like 20 super fast, and then the timer at the top like records how long you are? So there was a lot of question about how can I create that?
Yeah. um, so in my mind right now, it seems so easy, but I'm sure there's a million things that pop up. Let's see what we can do. So the first thing you want is, let's add some 2D elements to the screen that represent our numbers. So let's just say that this red one is 1, and then we'll say that this blue one is 2. Okay, so we have our 1 and our 2, and then we've got our screen image tap node, and we'll say, okay, I'll do the right thing. 1 red and 2 blue, so that we can actually track what we're doing. Okay, and then we want another screen image tap node to represent, or to check when we get a tap on the blue. And we're going to assume that if you tap an empty space on the screen, it just doesn't register as a tap. Some people might, I don't know if some people make that like a lose state, like you didn't tap accurately enough, but we don't care. So let's see. Let's make a, let's check. I'm just thinking of how to do it. There's so many different ways you could do it. Just keep that in mind. So the first thing we'll do is we will say, we're creating a little subgraph over here for if the correct image was tapped. We want to know, we want the number to go up each time that you tap successfully, and then we want to check the next one. So instead of using the counter, let's just create a global counter. That's what I would call it. If you don't know what I mean by that, I mean that this node, this counter node, exists only here. You can't set or get it anywhere else. But if we have a value in a variable, we can set or get it anywhere. So then we don't have to keep plugging everything into this one node. So if we do this, let's see, this would be incrementing our counter. So, okay. And then we could duplicate this, check if it is equal to the counter, and then we'll throw this into a subgraph. Okay, and then this and this is how we determine. So this is just a trigger. We'll just call it enter for simplicity. And this will check if our current tap is the right tap. And the right tap is each number has its own tap number. And then we can say we can come back out here actually, and we'll copy this. You can copy from outside of a subgraph a variable and paste it inside if you don't want to go into the variables panel. So we'll say if. We'll trigger that if whenever you're checking, and we just want to see if this tap is the current tap that you want. And then we'll say, let's see, if it's not the tap that you want. So then we'll say, okay, you messed up. We'll set it to 0, and then we'll say fail. Or if you want to be nice, you can just change that to not succeed. And then we'll say next. Okay, now I put these on the outside like this because I want to leave room for more stuff to happen if you want to program more stuff to happen. But these just control the counter, which is the main logic. So if you did click on the current one, if our number is 0 and you click on the first one, which is red, then this if statement will be true. And so we'll just increase the counter so that the next one you have to click is blue. So then for this one, we're going to say 0 is red's number, right? And then duplicate this, and then this will be for blue. Oops, blue should be 1 because everything starts at 0. Okay, so I think we can just hook these up. I might be forgetting some small step, but I think we can just hook these up, and then so we would want success on the last one. So that's why we have these outputting events. So, you know, we don't really want to mock up anything too crazy. We don't have any graphics to work with. So I'm just going to turn this green, and that just, when this goes green, that means you won. Or, you know, reset to the next stage. So if we click red and then blue and then green, or, okay, sorry. Getting ahead of myself. We'll pull green into here, set visibility, or you can just select it in the object selector. And then this next, meaning that you successfully tapped the last one. Actually, to match the other ones, this is all you also have to do, is like, we want the red one and the blue one to turn off when you click them.
I know I probably said it a million times, but I really do love the target feature that's like built in within, because before my visual scripting page looked like a bunch of webs, but now you can so easily select the target. So everything looks super neat, and I love this feature.
Yeah, definitely a huge plus. So now if we click red and then blue, oh no. I have this set to visibility on is off. So restart. So what if I click red and then blue, we win. But if we did it the opposite way, blue, we just failed. But failing
We
is
just
just
failed. Sad.
fail just means it reset, I think, is all we really programmed into that. But you can program anything you want. Yeah, if you fail, it'll just reset back to 0. So if we added a third one, then you could see that logic a little bit better. But since there's only 2, resetting just means, you know, yeah, let's just add a third one real quick because the logic doesn't really make sense if you only have 2 anyway. It's like, which one did you click first kind of logic. But this just shows you how when you design things modularly, look how easy it is to update it.
Wow, so easy.
You just duplicate some things, and then you could even encase this set of 3 things here into its own subgraph so that you can just pipe in this image that you want to screen tap. And then you could just swap out one thing. Okay, so now this one, we'll just say it's yellow. Okay, so yellow is the third one you want to tap. So if you tap red and then yellow, then I also didn't change the tap number. So that actually worked. Okay, red and then yellow. Now it's reset. Now if you click blue, it's not going to work because it's reset back to 0. So also to reset, you should probably turn on the visibility of it again. So if I click this, yeah, so now I can't win because the red is always off and you can't click it again to restart. But that logic you also need to add. The only other logic I would add is, so in this fail logic, let's just, I don't want to go too deep into this first question, but I do want to like follow up on all the things that I mean. So this fail logic, to fix that, you could just, anytime something fails, we just turn them all back on as one thing. And then the other thing that you would do is random. So actually this, I should make a little subgraph for this, but -360. Yeah, I should definitely make a random screen point subgraph. I'm sure I would use that at some point, but you'll want just some random, oops, did not mean to duplicate that. So this is a random range for the width of the screen, and then you would do another one for the height of the screen, which if you're familiar with this, you get 640. And then you would set position of each of these. Do you want me to hook this up? I can, but I don't think there's anything else I want to say about it other than this. But if we want to see how this looks, I'll finish it.
I think one potential question is, I don't know if in the 1 to 20, if the locations automatically change. I know that's going to spiral into a bigger discussion and so many more minutes, but is it possible to have it randomly appear in like set locations?
It is, yeah. So in that way, you're making me do things the way I would actually do them if I was actually working on a project. Yeah, well, let's do that. So you'll want some vec2s then, and these are, it's almost like you want an array of arrays. Which we don't really have. So for each item, they'll have an array of positions that they can be in. So 0, 0, -20, -20. Yeah, I'm not sure. And then you'll duplicate this for each of these. And then instead of randomly selecting a position, you could use an index generator.
Coming in handy here once again, index generator.
And then this would select an index from 0 to 1. We only have 2 items here, so that's what it would, you would have to get item from array. And that's where this index would plug into. So plug in your array. Oh, it's a vec2 array. Make sure to set the right type. It doesn't seem to auto switch. And then duplicate this for each. And then put your position setters on the other side. And that. Oh. And then we will rope this trigger back over here. So just connect in all the little dots. Make sure the index is the same for all of them, and then you would mess with these values until they're exactly how you like. But yeah, just getting the groundwork set up is the hardest part, and then tweaking where they would appear is the easier part. So at this point, when it fails, it'll turn them all back on and then change, enter, and then change where they are. So let's click these again. Okay, now it changed where they are. You can see the red one is back on, but they're far too close together. So if you wanted to set up these arrays so that they're actually logical, you just click them on this screen, move them to where you would want them, and then just copy paste the position X and Y. So this is like -152 for the red one and 319. And so you would just do this for all of them. And for as many positions as you want, maybe you want 10 positions. That might take a little bit of time, but not that much time. So you just go through and you would set all of them up, and then that's where they would appear. So for this position, I'm like, okay, the red is up there, the blue is clearly visible. So then I copy this position into the blue one in item 0. And then after you're finished copying the red, blue, and yellow positions as you see them, how you like them, then you would, move them around. You'd be like, okay, now red is over here, now blue is over here, and now yellow is up here. And then you would go through and copy these into item 1, the next item in each array.
Very nice. And let's say if we were to do a timer. Sorry, I guess I'm just like piling stuff on you. In case we wanted to time how quickly users finish this project, you would just measure, you will just set it so that the timer stops when you click on the last one.
Okay. So then notice I still have this set up to that. If you want the timer to stop just from this one series of clicks, you would put it out here. So you might have like a timer that's running throughout the game. This is your main timer. We could also make what I would refer to as a global timer, much like I did with the global counter, so that you don't have to access it in one place. But a lot of times you only need to access things in one place, so it's not bad. So if we were to restart, it's going to reposition things. So that's one point where you would restart the timer, right? Maybe, unless it's a game where you can fail a bunch of times and it doesn't restart the timer. Also, maybe when the effect starts, we start the timer. Also, maybe when the user is recording, we restart the timer. There's a bunch of scenarios where we might want to reset the game, I just like to remind people to keep reset logic in mind, because it's much easier to do if you think about it during the entire process. Okay, so then you're starting your timer, and then when you win, you stop the timer. But what happens if you haven't won and the timer ends? Well, let's create like some sort of global flag, and we'll use that. Oops. I don't know why, but ever since like 2.2.0, it's been reminding me that I'm single everywhere I look. We'll just call it timer ticking. Everybody has their own preference of how they name variables. Actually, one convention is just to always start with is, so is timer ticking. Get and set, and then we'll say right off the bat it's not ticking. The timer is not ticking by default, but we can set it anytime this is going. And then whenever the timer ends, we can also update this variable to say the timer is not ticking. It's pretty simple like that. And then if we want to, I want to pull this in, we can add a little logic to our subgraph here, which we can copy paste back because we made subgraphs, so it's easy to use. And we can just say, is timer ticking, and we're doing the right thing. And plug that in instead. Now this makes it so that if the timer has already ticked, even if you click on the correct one, you lose still. I'm not sure if that's how the game should go. These are just some ideas, some logic that you can kind of take and you can kind of understand how that works, and maybe it'll give you an idea for how you actually want it to work, because I think a lot of games work in different ways. But adding a timer, that was just kind of my first idea. We want the game to sort of be disabled. You can't win after the timer runs out, kind of. And then, yeah, you would repeat that in each subgraph. You could just copy the subgraphs and swap them out, but do we want to test that? Okay, I'll test it.
We also have one more question from Cal.
Cool.
I hope you're still on the stream, Cal. So, at the end of this project, do you think you can save this, August, so we can share?
Sure.
Perfect. Thank you. Also, Luca, for those of you who joined our last TikTok/YouTube stream on Friday, knows we did a do not blink, no blink challenge. And Luca has officially won. For those of you who haven't blinked yet, please blink now. Thank you coming to the Friday stream. It was so fun having you guys. I will let August go back to his projects.
That's yeah. So red, blue. Oh, the timer already ran out. Oh wow, 2 seconds is not.
You lost, August.
5 seconds because I am a young one. Wait, is red for? Okay, red, blue, yellow. Okay, we win. And if we wait too long, let's watch this timer go. Okay, now we click, it resets, and the timer is reset too. So I can click red, blue, yellow, and win. Yeah, so obviously instead of red, blue, and yellow, you want some numbers. So that's a good thing to add. And I think that's pretty much a complete game effect. if you wanted it to operate that way, I think I would add some more extra stuff. Maybe some visual transitions.
Mm-hmm. And with the new addition of Asset Library, now you can add things like confetti or some fun effects super easily. So you can set it so when they complete the challenge within the some time, a confetti cannon goes on, or when they make it to the end, a confetti goes on. So please check out the Asset Library. It has so many new fun features.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. We'll share this file on our Discord if you want to use it and recreate it. So please check that out and look at the asset library.
We've got some materials too. I think this will be the biggest thing as more and more materials get added. That will be so amazing. The terrain material, check that one out.
Yeah, and they're all procedurally generated. So all you need to do is work on the sliders, and then it will do all of the transformations. And I think that's so fun.
And I don't think it's that heavy either. I think the procedural generation is done with just like noise signals, so it's just a little bit of math. I don't think there's like a ton of. I don't think it's gonna weigh your effect down.
And for the dissolve, I'm waiting for someone to create a venom effect so that it like there's a venom mask and then it disappears and appears. I feel like that would be so cool. Okay. Finally, moving on to Cow's question. Cow, thank you so much for being here. Cow's staying up until 2 a.m. for this question. Cow asks, hi Celine and August, Cow here. Just wanted to ask, how can we track device movement / rotation with AR camera for the World AR effect? August, I love your mustache.
Sorry, I got a little sidetracked. I just wanted to try it out. What was the question?
Your mustache is very jiggly too.
I used to have a real mustache like this, I swear.
You're saying like an Englishman's mustache that are like twirly like this at the end?
Yeah, it was so long and curly. It took so much maintenance, so many hours.
Oh my gosh. Now you gotta share a photo. Well, wait, actually we don't need a photo. I can see you right now, and that's how you look like.
That's true.
Very nice. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the question, Cow's question. Like using the phone as a controller to move a 3D object. So he wants to know, how do we track device movement / rotation with AR camera for the World AR effect, like a phone controller like this, and then you can use the movements to maybe move a 3D object. Like if you tilt your phone to the left, the 3D object also like tilts, moves, rotates to the left.
Yeah, let's see. You said that you wanted me to save this.
Yes, please.
Project, so I'll make sure to save it.
Wow, a lot of people are staying up for this question. I see Lynette is staying up. I see Cow staying up. Thank you so much for being here, guys. 2 a.m. going strong.
Let's see. Oh, 2 a.m. over in Singapore. Okay, so the first thing you want is for AR tracking, you'll just want to add the AR plane realistically. I don't usually use it. It's kind of like an occlusion plane. So if you want to create a world and you want to occlude so you can like see the ground or something, you can, or if you want characters that you don't want them to clip through the ground, you would like put this down and this would represent the ground. So like if characters go through it, it looks like they're actually clipping with the real floor. So it's like, yeah, so you just use it for that kind of, from what I've used it for. And then AR camera, this is what you really want to access. If you take a look in the inspector panel, you'll see the tracking mode could be set to world or orientation. I've noticed that world works a little bit better. I think the orientation mode, that's if you don't need to like move position in space, you just want to get the rotation of your camera or your phone. So that is good as well, but I think World takes more of your phone's power, but it works better. So just keep that in mind, and also definitely experiment with it on your own, because like I haven't made that many AR effects, but I have noticed that if I try to use World, it will be more intense processing power wise, but it will work better. So that being said, when you move your phone in real life, this AR camera is moving in the same exact way in AR life. So if you choose get position here and get rotation, I don't think the scale is going to change ever. Or I don't think the device tracker is going to change the scale. But we can peek at these. And with this video preview, we're kind of getting like a demo of what these values might be. So the AR camera position, you can see it changes quite a lot. Like it's moving like in this small movement that it's making, it's moving like 7 units left and right. And then the rotation, you can see it's pretty accurate. It's not rotating very much, but you can track all of these values. So what you might do is, we can use a cube, I guess. So, oh, right, cube. So we'll just say cube set rotation. And then we also want to get rotation, I think. So this is how I would do it. We care mostly about the rotation. From my interpretation of this question, I think we mostly care about rotation. So we want the creature to, we care about the X and Y rotations, right? What we were kind of thinking of it like a steering wheel. When you rotate your phone, it changes. So we don't want to map the axes perfectly. We want to change this cube's Y rotation based on the phone's Z rotation. So split. Oops. Split. Okay. So the phone's Z rotation, right? I guess we're gonna also have to split and combine this. So we want to split this, and then we want to combine it to put it back in. And then we also want a lerp. Sorry if I do these things a little too fast sometimes. So let's see. The first thing we want is that we want our lerp node to take in the current rotation of the cube as the start. And we want to lerp towards the camera's intended rotation. I guess you could just, yeah, this might not be the perfect solution. We'll figure it out with some iterations, which is what I always do. But we'll plug this in. We'll plug this in here because this is going to be the stop. And then we'll plug this Z into the Y. And then the creatures X and Z will keep the same. So we're just plugging in that steering wheel thing so that it rotates left and right based on the phone's rotation. And that will kind of, yeah, we'll just see how it goes. There's not, how do I do this on EH? You really want to test on mobile, but I want to show you guys. I'll see if I can just rotate my laptop or something. I don't know. But yeah, and then step, you want it to be something non-zero. If we want it to totally ignore the lerp, you would just put 1. Um, and then let's see if we can get a better demo video. None of them are really rotating on that Z axis. This one rotates the most. Okay, and I think we want to turn off our other camera. The cube looks so far away. Okay.
Can we change the color of the cube to not white? Because I can't really see them.
Well, I'm also trying to figure out why it's so far away.
Mm.
Because if you see the camera's positions, it should be very close. I'm not sure why the camera is snapped all the way back out here. It's like the camera. Yeah, what? I'm not really sure how the camera got up here. You know? But it's as if the camera's over here instead of down here. So instead of using Z, since the demo video isn't really showing much Z rotation, we can use Y rotation. And you'll see the cube rotates. Oh no, it's gone again.
Sasha says the double camera.
Okay, well, you can see it rotating there. I don't like this because, like, if you turn enough away from the cube, then it'll be turning off camera. You know, you really want that steering wheel vibe. So yeah, the other way is correct. It's just you can't really see it without previewing it on mobile. So let's keep that connected there. And then what you would also want is your cube. You're gonna set position and get position, and you're just gonna add a little bit to the forward. Okay. World transform info. And then we'll say cube. You can hook this up however you want. When I use these world transform infos, I'll usually jam a bunch of stuff into a subgraph so I don't have to see all the wires everywhere, but this is pretty simple. So we get this cube transform. That's how we're getting the position. Oh no. Yeah, that's
August chat is suspecting that maybe it could be because of the double camera. Maybe if we delete the original camera or something.
Well, I already moved the cube over by it. Something to look into.
Yeah, I mean, if it's working now, let's proceed. But
I think even if it is an issue, it's like not an issue that we care to figure out during this demo because it's not stopping us from figuring it out. Something to look into on my own time. Okay, so we're gonna add. Do you see this forward direction? That's the direction that the cube is facing. And then you have to do this. Sometimes you don't want to, but you just gotta do it. This is multiplying the delta time times this forward vector. What we want is a vec3, so we actually need a data convert, which I think will automatically add. Oh no, it won't. So we'll throw the data convert just so we get a whole vector 3 of these delta times. And then, and now we have our forward vector multiplied by delta time. So that means that it will give us just the length that we need just for this frame. If you want more explanation, I can give more explanation, but knowing about delta time is pretty important for smooth transitions. Otherwise, it's going to look very choppy. And then we plug that in, and now it'll be moving basically, oh no, Did it disappear again?
Do we lose the cube?
Lost the cube. Let's reset it.
Trial and error.
And it might be because I'm making it move really fast.
Yeah, that might be true because the camera's so shaky.
I think it's more so that I think I was telling it to move 1 unit per second, which might be, that's not that fast. Let's just slow it down. Okay, so yeah, I am a little confused where it would have gone. It was like blinking up in the sky for a sec.
Is this how Harry Potter feels when he's trying to get the... Oh, I saw the cube. I saw the cube.
You saw the golden snitch?
Yeah, I saw it. I'm sure that this is how Harry Potter feels when he's trying to get the golden snitch.
Let's just do a Blin Fong. I'm a huge fan of the Blin Fong right now. It looks good, and it's very cheap to process.
Yeah.
You can make much more with if you use all of the
Than the standard PBR.
Yeah, the standard PBR looks beautiful.
Oh, I saw it. I saw it. Is it too close to the camera? Because I saw it like right here.
So the rotation shouldn't affect it at all, and the position, I'll just unhook the position for a sec just to see if I'm doing something weird with that. It should be okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think something's going on with this preview of maybe this sky preview is better for sky and not great for tracking. I think that's it. Okay, well, let's set this at 40 just because the other cameras a lot of times go up to 40. Nope, that's still not it. Well, we'll just put it in front of the ghost camera that we've somehow found up here. Oh, now it's a little closer. Okay, so now if we hook this up, we'll see that it always goes in its forward direction just a little bit. Okay.
Whoa.
That's so strange because if you look here, it's adding such a tiny value every frame. And then the position is wildly changing. Yeah, not sure what's going on here, to be honest. This is an add, and this is the only place that we're setting it, right?
Delta time?
Delta time. Yeah, so if you look at this at any given point, the X is changing by like 100 units, but we're only changing it. And the cube is using world position. Yeah, I'm not sure why this would ever happen. Got some weird funky stuff going on, but this is essentially what you would do, and I would not be surprised if it works on mobile, but I'm not really sure why it's doing this. I don't know if we want to continue this, but yeah, to be fair, if you took this chunk of code and you tested it on mobile, I believe it should do that steering wheel thing where it turns based on towards whatever this rotation is. But also what you would want from that is probably not this thing where you lerp towards the actual rotation. You might want to do another delta time to add the rotation. So like when it's like turned like this, you want it to rotate more and more over time, not towards that same rotation. We could do that real quick. So we would just basically do this same thing instead of this. So we would say AR camera for this, and then we would, yeah. And then instead of forward vector, we would say world rotation. So yeah, I think you would want to keep track of, so you would actually want to set these to 0 so that it never manipulates the other rotations, only the Y rotation. And then you do this instead of that. And then I think this would come from your actual cube rotation. And then this would be your final value. So you're manipulating your cube's rotation by adding a little bit of whatever this rotation is to it. And then, yeah, that should work.
Sounds good. Do you think you can save this file and share? Cal's saying he wants to experiment.
Yeah.
Perfect,
I think
perfect.
just cleaning these things up. And then, yeah, I would say experiment with this. And maybe this is one of those issues that just gets fixed by restarting Effect House.
Yeah. Sasha says, I'm going to try some AR plane effects with Effect House. Thank you so much. Well, Sasha, I'm so glad that you thought this was fun and you wanted to try out a new form of effects. Okay, we are running madly over. It's 11:36. So we doubled our time today, but that was because all of the questions were super fun and it was super informative. So we're going to end the stream here, but thank you everyone for coming to the stream. It's been a pleasure. And of course, thank you, August, for all of the demos and showing us wonderful solutions to questions. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And the 2 project files that we created during the stream, we will put it on the Discord. Well, Reem actually says they really like the glitch effect though. So maybe that could be like a glitch effect.
Some kind of anime attack.
Yeah, like you don't know where your enemies are coming from, or it's like a ghost, so you can change the cube into a ghost and then the ghost is just glitching and popping. That would scare the living life of me.
I would love to see somebody's portrait segmentation flashing around.
That would be so fun. Do you know if it's possible to switch cameras in between the effect? Like you use the front facing to get the segmentation and then you get the
so
switch it?
if you create an AR effect, it will lock your camera to the back facing camera.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, thank you everyone for coming. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Real quick, I just want to
I
just want to give them the option to just screenshot this if they want. So I'll just move it to the 2 positions. Yes. So here I'll give you 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Screenshot. Done.
That's so weird. You count down from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and not 5, 4, 3, 2, 1?
And now 5 more seconds here. 17, 34, 28,
16, 7,
okay.
4.
It doesn't matter which seconds I'm counting, just that 5 seconds were counted.
Okay.
That's it.
Have a nice day, guys.
All right.
See you next week.